100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Monday. And I mean Monday, kind of mild, little chilly, but guess what?
Man, it ain't chilly at all.
Man, it ain't chilly.
It feels great outside.
Real good.
Man, RT, you kind of under the weather, so you can't say nothing. So we got to bring you from the phone today so they don't get to see your pretty face. They get to hear your sexy voice. And I do mean
what it is.
Barry White.
You're right. I'm not under the weather. What it is I lost my voice cheering on those Titans and wrestling and from afar for basketball because they was a championship weekend is how I saw it.
Hey, that's what you do over there at CA. They just find a way to keep winning, man. And I got to give a shout out to the CA Titans real quick and Coach Hodges and Coach Miller, what they're doing because Carl Albert's been down in wrestling. Believe me, folks, I know because my boy went there at one point in time and I had to pack him up and send him down the street to the Yellow Jackets over with Benny Coleman because Carl Albert
wait. That's where it all started from. The transferring in started back then. Okay, go ahead.
No, RT, I'm going to keep it 100 here. I didn't transfer, baby. I bought a house in Choctaw over at 1244 Goldsboro Road, Eastwood. It's the name of the addition. So I bought a house. It ain't like I stayed in my house in Del City on Corbett Drive. I bought a house and moved over here. Now this damn house is too big for me because everybody's moved out. But me and Zoe, I got 2 extra bedrooms. One's Ivy's room, and she don't even hang out here, but at least once or twice a week. And then Zoe, you know how it is, RT. Them kids start moving out. Guess what? It becomes empty. Well, guys, before we get this started, hey, it's good to see you, Big E, and good to hear your voice, good RT.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. Big E.
What's
Big
up?
E. I smell something.
What? Oh, man, here he goes.
Steak and cheese.
Here
49ers,
he goes.
Bang, bang. Them Niners got them again.
Man, I was holding back tears on Sunday, man. You had no idea.
Hey, Big E was talking about my Cowboys.
Hey, you lost to them too, Tony.
Hey, you talk about my Cowboy, and they both got beat. Hey, I'm telling you, this week of football was great football.
It was great football.
I tell you, man, all 4 games is all about get your popcorn ready and watch the game. I'm telling you, it was great football this weekend. Great football.
Absolutely. You was watching all those games this weekend. All of them came down to the wire. All of them came down to the last possession. I mean, probably the most exciting weekend of NFL football that I've ever been around for. But, you had the Raiders, not the Raiders. It was the Titans versus the Bengals. That was a great game. Joe Burrow doing his thing,
Hey,
Bengals showing out.
Hey, give P. Ross a name. If you don't know who he is now, you should know who he is. Hey, he's got a chance. He got a chance to go to the Super Bowl, baby. They're right there knocking on the door. But you can't give it up to your boy down there in Kansas City.
You know where they're from?
They're from that University of what?
Oklahoma. RT, you tell me real quick. How many OSU Cowboys are playing in the NFL playoffs right now?
Hey, he taking shots.
Is this what we doing?
This is what we
I just want to know.
Hey, RT, he taking shots because
I just want to know.
You ain't sitting right next to him.
But wait a minute. One of them, hey.
Oh, you got Tyreek Hill, kinda, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? He threw up the deuces, you know what I mean? And so, speaking of deuces, the Cowboys is out, that's 1.
Yep.
And then Green Bay is out, that's 2. So I'm going to hit y'all with the deuces, you know what I'm saying? I'm 2-0.
Hey, man, but hey. Hey.
Who's your team, RT?
You can't claim Tyreek Hill, though. His degree don't say OSU on it. It said West Alabama.
Is RT claiming?
But you claimed Caleb this year though, didn't you? Now you know.
Oh man, hey man, I ain't worried about Caleb. We got my man Dylan Gabriel. OU just picked up another QB commitment for 2023. Man, we gonna be straight. I'm cool.
Hey, he said.
Hey, but OSU, their quarterback just left. Their backup quarterback said deuces, just like Tyreek did.
Who did?
Shane Illingsworth. He in the transfer portal.
You know why he did that?
He's trash.
You know who's going to be the next quarterback at Oklahoma State? Last name is Gundy.
You know who's going to be the next quarterback?
First name is Gunner.
Yeah, Shane Illingsworth. I think he's going to UCO. He's going to play some D2 ball because that's what he does.
Is that where he going?
I think so. I don't know. I'm just saying that to. I'm just saying.
He got an arm. Somebody will pick him up. But folks, we might have a special guest today. The man behind. He does a lot with the camera. He does a lot with the film. Got his own podcast going. We might have Keon Taylor coming in here in a little bit to talk a little bit about high school football and some of the teams he's filmed and talked about what he got going on with his production. He's doing a little podcast. He just had Michael Irvin and some NFL guys on, and he's rocking and rolling. But he's going to spend a little of his time, and we're going to talk about the Jackets, the Jags, and all the teams that he covers. And hey, we're going to keep it what?
Keep it 100.
Oklahoma
High school sport.
Football, whatever we want to call it, sports, football. We talking football. I'm talking about football. But man, there's a lot of things we can get into, man. And over this weekend, like RT said, Carl Albert, we'll jump on them, man. Since let him touch on that because he might not keep his voice for very long. Since Mother Nature's kind of got him a little bit. RT, tell us a little bit about that tournament y'all went to, man. It's a good thing with, like I said, what Coach Hodges and Coach Miller's doing with the Carl Albert wrestling program. So tell us a little bit about that tournament you guys were in.
Just as you said, Hodges, Miller, as well as Coach Evans, those guys is doing a really good job with the wrestling program there. Most recently, prior to this weekend, they won district duels, which for the first time, I think, since 2009, they will be participating in dual state this year. And he wanted to challenge the guys and kind of, wake them up a little bit and put them up against tougher competition. So we went up there to Owasso, and there was teams up there like Allen from Texas, Bixby, Mustang, a few other teams from Kansas, and it was a good experience. I tell you what, man, Bixby is definitely a powerhouse. That was our first duel, and they pretty much roughed us up a little bit, but it challenged our guys, and we was able to finish strong overall. The first day, it's kind of like a pool play, and it will determine the next day pool that you will be in. So Carl Albert didn't finish high enough to get into the gold with the Allens and the Bixbys, those powerhouses like that. But overall, we finished third in the silver. Guys did really well, man. And Hodges, I want to say he had like 7 state qualifiers last year and 2 state placers. And this year he's even stronger, and he's only going to be losing 1 wrestler. So I believe that they're going to do really well at state, and then they're going to come back even stronger next year.
Yeah. Well, I got to give you a shout out, RT. I mean, I've been seeing you on Twitter, kind of related, kind of unrelated, but you've been shooting the Carl Albert Titans wrestling team with that camera of yours. You've been doing a great job, and people don't know. People think it's just easy. Point and shoot, take a picture, make it look good.
Right.
It ain't all that, especially the weird lighting that they have in some of those arenas. So
yes.
Props to you, man. Those pictures look
Appreciate
good.
it. Yeah, I'm having fun. They make it easy. They've been doing a really good job. Them boys has been getting after it, man. Those young men have definitely got after it. They are really well coached, and man, they just love it. It's fun. And my boy, as you know, last year he didn't wrestle because of COVID, so it's been almost 2 years for him not to wrestle. And then he suffered the 3 fractures in the foot. And he's wrestling up, and he went 5-1 down there. He was getting busy. So I'm proud of him, and hopefully he continue to build on those little things that he need to build on and make it to state and see what we're gonna do.
Well, RT, man, like I said, give a big shout out to that Carl Albert program because the last few years on this side of state, on this side, with Carl Albert, Mill City, Choctaw, and Hare. And it's been, Coach Benny Coleman in the Yellow Jackets taking care of business. And I mean, they're kind of struggling right now, winning. I know they did just win their district, but I mean, their district is soft as Medicaid cotton. So that just tells you where they're at. But hey, no shouts. I just keep it 100. Love Coach Benny, Miss Teresa. But he'll tell you, man, they're down this year. But I just tell you, what Coach Hodges done, man. I know when my son was over at Carl Albert, we got a chance to work with Coach Hodges and Mr. Miller, man. I mean, I know Kevin Miller. He coached my brother Jerry, and so I've got the chance to know him and his son, and his daughter used to cheer my daughter Olivia. So I got to know, and Kevin, like I said, not only is he a firefighter, but I tell you, man, he's tough on these kids. And if you don't know him, man, you might read him the wrong way, but he's all about the kids. But you can see all that hard work is starting to pay off, and a program that's it's probably been the bottom of the barrel at Carl Albert has been wrestling, and now that Hodges has kind of got his foot on these guys and starting to get kids to believe in a program and believe in staying. At one point in time, Carl Albert had a woman coaching them, and not that taking down from women wrestling. If you had a women's team, that's fine, but a woman coaching all men, I'm far from prejudiced because I think women are just as equal as men. But I think when it comes to that, I think you need to have a man coach them. But he has turned that program around at Carl Albert. So big shout out to them. Ghoul State, man, you guys will have a blast. I told RT that's one of the funnest times it is, man, because you're cheering. And it used to be over at
Shawnee, Fire Lake.
At Fire Lake, man, it was right down the street. But now it's at Enid, so you gotta travel. But now they've kind of changed the format that everybody's not going at once. It used to be everybody at once, so you have a bunch of people in there screaming and yelling and getting after it. But I just tell you though, man, I might try to make that trip to go watch Carl Albert, man, because once, like you said, RT's son has been hurt. Raven, now he's coming back after 2 years. The kid is strong as a bull. And wrestling, if all you got to know is really 2 or 3 good moves, and you can have good balance, you can beat a lot of people. Because I've seen my son do it. But shout out to UCO, man. They just went down and won a big time tournament themselves. They had the dual champions. My son, like I said, he redshirted, but he went on the trip just in case somebody went down. They was going to pull his red shirt, but thank God he did. So he gets to stay. Good. Stay redshirted this year. Got a few more matches before their season's over, and they got a chance to win a national championship. It sucks because he's still part of it because he helps them work, but being that the guy that's getting your name, but for the next 4 years he'll get that chance. But I just tell you right now, Midwest City Sports is rocking and rolling, man. Midwest City Boys just won that tournament out in Deer Creek. Carl Albert just won their tournament over here over the past weekend. Midwest City Girls, they lost to the number one. I'm sorry. They could easily be number one. Choctaw could easily be number one in Big 6A. Midwest City Girls lost to them just Friday night, about 4 or 5 points. I guess after that loss, it kind of took a lot out of them. They ended up getting beat by Moore for the 3rd and 4th place game pretty handily. So, but both teams is doing good things. Carl Albert Girls, they get beat by Memorial, a team that beat Midwest City earlier this year, but Carl Albert Boys win. So it just tells you right now. But I did get a little peek under the tent that all 3 teams gonna be in the same regional. Whoever did that is, I'm gonna keep it real 100. That's a bunch of crack of BS, because why would you put all 3 teams that are tough? Because the other night I got a chance to go watch that Midwest City versus Dell City, and Coach Hatchett just got it going on. He's lost a couple of kids. Foreman's hurt, and then, Dylan Stone just left and went to IMG. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But, he finds a way to win. Kids step up, and that's what happens when you got a good team like that, and you got some athletes, you find guys that step up. So, you got to tilt your hat to Coach Laney Hatchett, man. Like I said, the guy's already won 1 state championship. He's looking on trying to win a second one. It's going to be tough because he lost some guys. Because I'm telling you right now, next time they face Memorial out of Tulsa, Memorial out of Tulsa, they're gonna be willing, because they don't want to knock them off from being number one. But hey, I just tell you, Andy Collier has to be feeling good, man, that he can click his heels like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, because what's going on here. And hey, make sure you put that little click. But I'm just telling you, man, you gotta be feeling good though. But like I said, I'm pumped because, like I said, we've been off for a couple of weeks, but sports is keep rocking and rolling, man. Wrestling is going strong. Kids are starting to get late commits, so you got a lot of good things going on. Strong here in the Middale, not just Middale, just all over. You see the kid from over at Bixby. I'm scratching my head. The tight end receiver Luke. You see, he committed to Arkansas,
but he's an Arkansas legacy. His parents, I think, both went to Arkansas. So
why would you, RT, talk to me now? Because you had a son play D1 football. Talk to me. Help me understand. Why in the hell would you commit to Arkansas and you were just at OU? Lincoln Riley ain't that damn good. If he was that damn good, follow him to USC. Talk to me.
It may be because of the position that he'll be playing, the best opportunity to get on the field so that he can make it to the next level.
But Arkansas, if you look at Arkansas's recruiting, the things that they've been able to pull out of the transfer portal, the recruits that they've been able to get out of high school, and the way that they played this past year, I think Arkansas is one of those teams you got to keep an eye on for the next few years, the way that they're going. Sam Pittman got them turned around. So, Arkansas, I don't think it's a bad move for him. I
just think that, if you committed to OU and everybody, you got to get the Venables. His staff is out getting everybody.
Yeah.
Kids that left, they're getting better kids. So, people that was laughing at OU a couple weeks ago thinking, oh, man,
people keep thinking, man.
It's the end of the world. No, man, Venom's was out there getting kids and doing the right things, man. He's helping kids move into, it's raining and cold, and he's helping kids move into their apartment, man. That's what it's all about, man. That's a player's coach. That's what you want, man. And he's going to bring all those alumni back. Not saying that, when Bob Stoops was there, you're going to have the Roy Williams. They just put Roy Williams and painted his picture in the locker room or one of the
team room.
Team room. So that's big time. Roy Williams, a guy that played in the NFL. Has won a national championship, played with the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. So just to have him on your wall that you can look at and say, man, he's a legend and I want to be like him. That's big time. So, but I just think, man, this kid Luke, man, you was at Bigsby, you did, and you still got one more year, but why would you pick Arkansas? But like he said, it might fall in place. How many kids they got at his spot? And what's the old new offensive coordinator going to run? Does he use the tight end a lot, or maybe he don't? In Arkansas, they might use the tight end a lot. But, Keon is huffing and puffing trying to get in here and want to get on the show and talk to us real quick. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to eat him up with Keep It 100 because that's what we do here. After one of our what?
After one of our sponsors.
We'll be right back. Keep It 100, Oklahoma High School Sports. Right back.
With 25 years experience in the industry, Line-X Customs OKC is your one-stop shop for all your vehicle accessory needs. Specializing in spray-in liners, lifts, levels, wheels, tires, bed covers, and anything else you need to make your ride look and sound better. Call Eric and the boys at 405-778-8878.
Welcome back to Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Let's go over some of these basketball rankings. I'm not going to go through the full rankings, like the 1 through 20 for each class, because we had a pretty long conversation with Keon, and I know that not all of y'all are going to stick around for a hour and a half long video. So man, we know what the people want.
I'm gonna keep it 100. The guys that are stars already, RT. They want to stay stars, that's Keon's been on the Young and the Restless and All My Children. So that's just how it works. But it's good to have him on the show to see both sides. Him filming, being part of the kids of Choctaw, and in Westmore, and we debate all the time. Like I said, some people don't like what I say when I talk about. People want to say I say Choctaw shit. I'm not saying Choctaw is cheating. I'm not saying Midwest is cheating. I'm not saying Carl Irish cheating. I'm saying if kids are going to move, and I hope everybody agree with me, if kids are going to move, just do it right. That's all I ask. Because the only thing I would hate is that, and I was fortunate, both of my boys are good enough, they could keep their starting position. Because Jeff and Chase moved in, and they all play different positions. But think about a kid that when Chase moved in, or when Jeff moved in, that kid's spot got taken because this kid moved in. And some parents get bitter and get bent out of shape and want to go call OSSA. I'm not saying, hey, these coaches do anything wrong, but some parents get like that. So that's why I said, don't put your baby in a jeopardy that he can't play his junior, senior year because some parents been a knucklehead because they didn't think you did the right thing. And that's my last subject on that. I have no problem against no school, but folks, that's what we do. We keep it 100.
Yeah. So talk about boys basketball rankings. Like I said, we're just going to go through the top 5.
Let's go, E.
And, so 6A, you got Jinx at 1, Mustang at 2, Edmond Memorial at 3, Booker T at 4, and Broken Arrow at 5. Broken Arrow just coming off that tournament win, beating Choctaw in the championship. I think that was at the Shawnee.
Yeah, but tournament. You just talked about Mustang being number 2. Yeah. But Choctaw knocked off Mustang to knock him out. So that just tells you where Choctaw's at. Choctaw's had a couple of guys hurt and starting to get him back with the sophomore, what's his name, Jamon Valentine's. I know Cameron Hunt's been hurt. We had his sister on last week, Carly Hunt, and I just tell you right there, those two kids can play basketball. So you can see Choctaw starting to get a couple kids back. So Coach Simpson and his boys, you can see them making a run when it comes regional.
Yeah, that's all. Basketball is all about getting hot at the right time,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, moving on to 5A, you got Del City at 1, Memorial at 2, Carl Albert at 3, Collinsville at 4, and Coweta at 5. So you got 2 Mid-Dale schools in the top 5 of the 5A basketball rankings. Then you got Midwest City. They're at 9 right now, but
you know they got a tough game coming. This week they're gonna have one of their old guys that used to play there. I mean, RT knows him well. Lenny Burt come to town this week, and take on the Midwest City Bombers. So Bombers can get that win. Bombers coming off of winning the Deer Creek tournament, but you look at that, man. You say you got 2 of the 3 teams in the top 5, and Midwest City's knocking on the door. But like I said earlier, all 3 teams will be in the same regional, so somebody's not gonna make it. So hopefully it sucks, but somebody's season's gonna come to an end after regionals.
Yeah. Moving on to 4A. Oh, this is boys basketball, by the way. I don't know if I prefaced that, but you got Kingfisher 1. Kingfisher, they've been running 4A as far as basketball goes for the past few years, so no surprise there. 2, you got Victory Christian, Heritage Hall at 3, Crossings Christian at 4, and Class and SAS at 5. Moving on to 3A, you got OCA at 1, Alva at 2, Millwood at 3, Marlowe at 4, and Westville at 5. 2A, you got Dale 1, Cashin 2, Morrison 3, Oklahoma Union at 4, and Hinton at 5. And then Class A, that'll be the last class that we talk about for boys basketball. You got Hydro Eakley at 1, Garber at 2, Vanos at 3, Cato at 4. I think it's pronounced Cato. And then Arapahoe Butler at 5. I'm gonna be honest, never heard of any of those schools.
I like that name, Arapahoe.
Arapahoe Butler. But if you go to any of those schools, or if you're at a Class A school, hit us up. Let us know. Put us on. So we can talk about y'all. But moving on to the girls' rankings. 6A, you got Edmond North at 1, Choctaw at 2, PC West at 3, Bixby at 4, and Union at 5. Choctaw coming off their tournament win, just beating Midwest City in the championship of their tournament.
No.
That was just regular.
No, they beat Midwest City in the second round. Semifinals. It was semifinals game.
Oh, that's right.
Beat a team out of Kansas, Bishop Miae. Good team, man. Choctaw. I think toughest game. Choctaw toughest game might be Midwest City. I think they beat them by 5. Game could have went either way. At halftime it's 2018. Choctaw was probably the stronger team in the second half. Didn't have the many turnovers. Midwest City will be strong as it goes on, but you got to realize Choctaw is 6A, Midwest City is 5A. So Midwest City in the 5A department, only games they've lost this year so far has been to 5A teams. To 6A teams. So that tells you where they're at in the class. And they lost one of their better players for the year, but they got a center. I'm telling you, she's the up and coming rising star, Deanna Douglas. I'm just telling you, they got Miracle. That's a junior girl, can shoot lights out. They got Looney, the track star. I've interviewed her. I'm telling you, man, when they put everything together, they're going to be a team to beat. I know everybody got Carl Albert, but Carl Albert, I think Carl Albert got lucky tonight, and I'm not saying to be mean, but Carl Albert got lucky tonight. They beat Midwest City. They lost some girls, but I just think when it comes all around again, I think Midwest City got a chance to cut down the nets.
Absolutely. And then moving on to 5A. Carl Albert at 1, Sepulpa at 2, McAllister at 3, El Reno at 4, and Midwest City at 5. So
bad rankings.
Yeah, and then Del City's right behind him at 6. So you got all 3 of those Carl Albert or Mid-Del schools in the top 10 of the 5A rankings. Like you were saying, Midwest City getting some of their once they get their players back and get on a roll here. Basketball it don't matter if you get into the tournament. You have a chance because it's all about getting hot at the right time. That's the crazy thing about basketball is like you watch. At the college level, you can lose any week. Just because that one team may have someone on the team that you're not aware about. They go unseen during film, and they come out and show out in that game against you. So that's why I love basketball. You can never be so sure about who's going to win a game.
Got to bring it every week.
Exactly. Moving on to 4A, you got Tuttle at 1, Class and SAS at 2. So Class and SAS actually gets taken over for that number 1 spot in 4A.
I reached out to one of the moms on one of the Class and girls.
Yeah.
She's on Facebook, and I reached out and I sent her a DM, and I was like, "Hey, I would like to have you on the show, talk to you." Because somebody was griping, man, and RT, I want you to chime in on this. Somebody was griping about they beat a team, scored 70-some points on the team, and somebody was griping like that ain't right. But they only got 6. I don't know how many girls they got. The mom kind of said it, but I'd love to have her on the show and talk about it. But my whole point: don't get mad if somebody beating you like that. Get better, because this is not YMCA.
You look at some of the margins. I mean, I can see why they're upset.
Why? Why be upset? Get
well,
better.
No. I'm not saying it's justified. I'm just saying why they're upset. I mean, they beat Northwest Classen 99-26.
Get better.
I'd be pissed.
Get better.
I mean, I hear you, but I mean,
how do you feel?
You know where I'm
RT?
coming from?
They only have a handful of girls on that team, and the only other way to they basically would have just had to just stop playing.
Yes. I mean, the clock is probably running. I mean, what you want them to do? Not shoot? Take it to me. Why? They're not teaching them right.
Right, because if they don't shoot and they just kind of playing keep away and motion ball, then they say, well, now you're really rubbing it in their face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get better.
I agree.
Get better. Get your T-shirt that says "Get better."
And also OSSAA, if they haven't done it already, put a shot clock in high school basketball.
I agree with you 100%. 100%. I think you should have a shot clock. I see some of these damn teams, they milk out the clock at the very end of the game. Get a shot clock, make the game interesting, kind of like the NFL. Make it interesting. No one thought the Chiefs was going to come back and win last night with 9 seconds. No one did. I didn't. I wrote them off. I would have betted my house, my car, and everything in my 401k thinking the Bills were going to win. Seriously, in 9 seconds. Everybody would agree with me. Did you not agree? Did you think
agree.
the Bills were going to win?
I mean, I'm not a Chiefs hater. I'm just I like rooting for the underdog. So I would have liked to see the Bills win that game, and I see, them kick that field goal and then win that coin toss. I was like, man.
Yeah.
And then plus you talk about Josh Allen. He had a perfect game. I mean,
perfect game.
Perfect
Look at that receiver. He had 4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns, 200 yards.
Guess what? He went home a loser.
And I think that's why they should change the overtime rules in NFL. I mean,
I think everybody should get one chance.
Yeah. I mean, that game, as soon as it went into overtime, I was like, whoever gets this coin toss is going to win the game. And I don't think, especially a playoff game, that's not how that should be decided at all. I mean, everybody argues, play better defense. Had the roles have been reversed, Buffalo would have won that game had they won the toss. The winner of the game should not come down to a coin toss. But that's neither here or there. But moving on with these 4A rankings. So Total 1, Class and SAS 2, Weatherford 3, Holland Hall 4, and Verdigris 5.
Wait a minute. Why is Total number 1 over Class?
Coaches vote, baby.
Coaches vote,
baby.
So I don't know.
You know where we going?
Wow. I can't wait to
that's
see
not
that matchup thing.
I know. Yeah. I'll buy everybody a ticket. We'll go watch that.
Let's see I want to see if they got them on the schedule here.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. No. But
you know what that is, man. Why do you got all 3 of those teams in the same regionals, RT?
Oh wow.
I mean, why? Why you got Colorado, Middle City, Dale City, all in the same regional? That makes no sense.
Sometimes a lot. Right, but sometimes a lot of that is decided before the season even begins, like 2 years.
No, it wasn't. I talked to Jones the other day. No, it wasn't.
No, okay.
Like they won all 3 because they're all 3 on this side of the state, but you didn't do that for football. You didn't do it for football.
Mm.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's all, man. It's just
yeah. Moving on to 3A, you got Lincoln Christian at 1, Perry at 2, Jones at 3, Kiefer at 4, and Bethel at 5. And then 2A, you got Howe at 1, Dale at 2, Lotta at 3, Pecola at 4, and Hooker at 5. Then Class A, you got Hydro Eakley at 1, Okarche at 2, Sealing at 3, Cato at 4, Van Ness at 5. Is that? Yeah, so Hydro Eakley, their teams both hold the number 1 spot in girls and boys Class A basketball. They both are they both undefeated too? No. The girls team is undefeated, but I don't know nobody from Hydro Eakley. I don't even know where that's at. But somebody out there is watching this from Hydro Eakley. Hit us up. I'd like to have y'all on. Y'all seem like y'all know what y'all doing out there in basketball. So yeah, get into these wrestling rankings real quick before we close out this show. You got in 6A, you got Stillwater at 1,
She'll win it all.
Yeah, Edmond North at 2, Mustang at 3, Bixby at 4, and Broken Arrow at 5. And then just right behind them is Choctaw. Moving on to 5A, you got Collinsville at 1, Glenpool at 2, Coweta at 3, Duncan at 4, and El Reno at 5.
No Carl Albert?
Carl Albert, they're at 13.
You know, I think El Reno got beaten district against I think it was Elgin who actually beat El Reno.
Hey, real quick, I know we're talking about we've been talking about the Titans wrestling. Don't sleep on them. They're 13, but don't sleep on those guys, man. They can do some stuff in dual state, and they can get some individual state champions, man. All it takes is 2 state champions and a couple guys on that backside to help you win the state championship ring. So good luck to all the teams here in the next few weeks. It's going to be kicking off, man. You're going to start having, regionals kick off, and then state. You're going to have dual state, then you'll have regionals, and then you'll kick off state. So good luck to every young man. I hope they can stay healthy, because you got to think, with this coronavirus going around, any kid that's a senior, this is last year, mom and dad's probably got you in a bubble, because all it takes is for you to get that virus and your season's over. So good luck to everybody. Hope they can stay healthy and go compete for a state championship.
Yeah. Moving on to 4A, and there's some things I want to talk about as far as 4A wrestling goes. You got Tuttle at 1, Cushing at 2, Catoosa at 3, Fort Gibson at 4, and Bridge Creek at 5. But you look a little bit down the rankings, and you got Hera at 9 when they're 16-0 as far as duels go. I think this is all dual ranking.
But it also comes with the tournaments you wrestle in too. If Harris is
I mean, they go to Texas and go to Grapevine. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
That's a tournament.
It's not okay.
No, the only wrestling school team you have in Texas is Allen, Texas. If Allen, Texas is on that is in that map or if in that bracket, then you can say yeah. But Harris doesn't go to anything tough. They're not going to Gary. They're not going to the Wausau tournament last weekend. So that's why they're sitting right there. They got a chance to do some good things and maybe dual state and state. But right now they don't have the top ranking because they're not going against the top competition.
Gotcha. Well, I guess we'll find out when they go to Blanchard. Blanchard's ranked at 5, and they got
Cody Hill. Cody Hill got a good team. But Blanchard beat the brakes off of.
All right, we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to argue because I don't know much about wrestling at all. And then also, you got Heritage Hall that's 0-5, and then you got 3 teams below them that have won duels and won.
But like I said, it comes with what tournaments they've been to, though. They've been to some tough tournaments and put some guys' names out there. They're going to have that ranking. It's all about where you've been and who you've run against.
Okay. I see it.
Well, guys, I mean, I know.
We got 3A real quick.
Okay, my fault.
No, you're good. And then you got 3A, you got Jay at 1, Marlowe at 2, Blackwell at 5, Selena at 4, and Veneta I read that. Jay at 1, Marlowe 2, Blackwell 3, Selena 4, Veneta 5.
Hey, give it up to Carl Albert because they just beat Blackwell, and that's a team that's ranked. And I know people talk about classes. In wrestling, it really don't matter what class you're. It's all about that weight. You both weigh 113. Guess what? We're wrestling 113. There's not a 113 6A and 113 5A. They're all the same. So, congratulations once again to Choctaw. I mean, not Choctaw, but Carl Albert for knocking off Blackwell, a team that they wrestled.
No. They actually lost against Blackwell.
How bad they lose? I'm sorry. My fault.
Only a couple of points. It was very close.
But
we also had some kids that were ill and hurt where we gave up forfeits. So it wasn't one of those things where it was just a lay down type deal. I believe if those guys did wrestle and we didn't give the forfeits, we would have won.
Yes, sir. So I just tell you right there with Carl Albert Wrestling. Like I said, I'm tickled for Coach Hodges and Coach Miller and who's the other coach? Coach Edwards?
Coach Evans. Evans, yeah.
Those guys have done a great job this year with that program, and they will continue doing it. Like I said, RT said they only lose one wrestler, so next year the stakes for them is going to be really, really high. They have a chance to compete for a state championship.
Yep.
Well, folks, man, like I said, I know it's a long show. Like I said, we're doing it once, one every other week. Keon was kind of our special guest. RT kind of stayed away because, a little bit under the weather, but, you can see he's going to give us this 110 with us always because that's what we do here. No matter what, we like to mail when we're always going to deliver. No matter what the weather is or what's going on in our life, we're going to deliver unless we're on our deathbed. And we're still probably going to shoot a show before we go out. But I just think, I thank him for coming on and, Eve for doing another great show. And Keon for coming on and talking a little bit about his product. I think Keon has his hands in a lot of cookie jars, and hopefully it can help us open up a little bit more, and he can tell us what we got to do to become more successful and make the show better than what it is. Any closing thoughts, guys?
Man, I just want to. I haven't done this publicly or in private, but I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on here, speak my mind, giving me a platform, and allowing me to, work towards my goals, and hopefully doing this my own, and making a name for myself. And you're playing a huge part in that. So I just want to thank you, Tony, for allowing me to come on here and do what I do. So
do your thing, boy.
Yeah. But that's all I have. RT, you got anything?
Nah, just y'all guys continue to do a great job. I'm just just happy being part of it. Yeah. Let's get this rolling. Let's get these people this scholarship money.
Yeah, I like I said before, close out, I want to thank, like I said, once again, having you both on the show. It makes me a better person. You both, he don't pat himself on the back, but he just did something special the other day that he texted me in RT. He wrote for the school paper.
Yeah, last year. I mean, it happened last year, but I didn't know of it until about a couple weeks ago. I got access to the student archives, and one of my articles made it into the student newspaper, which that's pretty cool.
Big time.
Yeah. So, can't credit myself too much. That's all. I give all the glory to the man above. So,
yes, sir.
But yeah.
But guys, like I said, once again, thank you for another great show. Keeping 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Yep. Please, folks, please, not begging you, but just asking you. You know anybody that's due for a scholarship that this money can help them? Please let us know. Reach out to us, one of us, DM us, hit us up on the email, and we'll go from there. But like I said, we like to thank all the people that subscribed so far to Keep It 100, because you guys are the one to help the show goes on. And like I said, we need more people to subscribe to keep making it bigger. Like I said, he had 300 viewers.
Man, he said he had 3 million viewers and 100,000 subscribers in 3 weeks.
That's our goal, is to beat that in 3 weeks. Yeah. We can do it, because if we put our minds together and go do it, because they're talking NFL, but we're talking local sports here in Oklahoma. And I think that's what it's all about, give it back to Oklahoma instead of going out and giving it to Texas or another state. So I thank you. I appreciate you. We'll catch you next time on another great show of what?
Keeping It 100, Oklahoma High School Sports.
See ya.